Oh my god. We were working 2 seconds ago. Now everything's crashed. Fun. Okay, you're on my TV. Let's get you on here. Ah, success. Well, hello. Welcome to the stream. Going to be playing some Pokémon Shining Pearl. Let me just retweet the old going live message. Maybe we can get one viewer. Wouldn't that be stupendous? Twitter.com. Come and watch the old stream. Tweet. Okay. Well, for those of you who are watching, presumably on YouTube, perhaps on Twitch Video on Demand, I have played a little bit since we last streamed. No progress, don't worry. I haven't done any of the game, but I did pop into the old Grand Underground, catch a few monsters, and then did some grinding. So we can have a different team. So first of all, let's meet the team. Weighing in at level 39 from Oreburg City, Sinnoh, it's Bastiodon. Rock and Steel, dinosaur, love me a dinosaur. Named it Ceratops, which I think is a great name. Then I realised it's male, so maybe I won't assign it a female name. Maybe I will, who knows. Weighing in at level 26 from Route 212, Sinnoh, it's El Nombre. Grass and Poison, covering some bases. When I get the stone, I can evolve it into a Roserade, so it'll still be a Sinnoh Pokemon. You know, just a good one, right? Next, weighing in at level 36 from the Grand Underground, it's the Intercontinental Champion, Karura. I've never used a Magmar before. They look kind of goofy, but they're based on a really cool mythological creature from from Japanese folklore, and also from like Hinduism and Buddhism that came over to Japan. The Garuda, it's called in Indian, but Karura in Japanese. Garudamon from Digimon is based on the same creature, and Blaziken is loosely based on it too. And also, when I evolve it into a Magmortar, it will be a Sinnoh Pokemon, so I think it's cool. Next, weighing in at level 38, from the Grand Underground, it's Bronzong. So you can see I've named this one Honganji. That's a temple in Kyoto, and it's famous for having a very old, very nice, big bell, which looks exactly like a Bronzong. And actually, seeing that bell was one of the moments that made me decide to do my Pokemon podcast in the first place. So yeah, hence, I think he makes a good addition to the team. I've never used one before, so yeah. The only problem is we've now got 3 steel types. So one of them may be getting switched out eventually. And still on the team, at level 40, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Empoleon. Ping Pangers. You know him. I know him. We all love him. Still, absolute lat. And finally, rounding out the team at number 6, weighing in at level 40, from Route 202 in Sinnoh, it's Shin Gojira. Shinx Gojira, sorry. Ruined my own pun. What an idiot. There you go. So that's the team we're working with right now. When I was grinding up these 4, then Empoleon and Luxray got up to like level 40, so I put them in the box for a bit. But once I got everyone up to at least level 30, I was like, okay, I'll save and we'll just play the game. Because, you know, grinding's not that fun, I'm going to be honest. And in terms of playing the game off stream, I also did briefly play it yesterday, because my friend Sawada at work wanted me to help him evolve a Kadabra. I hardly think that counts. Wow, 8. I think those are just puffin ones, right? I would like to pick the 4 Oran berries, yeah. Oh yeah, you may also be able to tell I went clothes shopping and bought that ridiculously expensive leather outfit, because it looks dope as hell. And yeah, when we were playing at work yesterday, everyone was getting very excited about how kawaii my trainer is. So I showed them my my Pokemon Sword trainer, who I went out of my way to make it look like she was sponsored by Monster Energy. I'm pretty proud of that. It wasn't difficult. All the Poison Gym clothes in Sword has like green drips going down. Then you can get a black jacket with green trim. It was pretty easy to make it look exactly like I was being sponsored by Monster. And with the whole, like, it's a sport thing they really leaned into in Sword and Shield, I think it worked great. But the problem is I didn't come up with that idea until a little ways into my game, so I didn't make my number 666. Eventually I do need to do another playthrough anyway to get the other horse. I need to get Spectria, or Glacier, whichever one I don't currently have. I think I've got Spectria, I think I need to get Glacier. What? So it turns out if you do it from the left, it will get all 4 of them. I didn't know that up until this point. Oh, I learn something every day. Let's tell ourselves that was added in a patch, and I'm not just an idiot. I like to... Should I go do his other berries? No, I can't be bothered. So, Psyduck's gone. Game is afoot. Or is it a hand? Ponyta, my old friend. I went to great lengths to have a fire type that wasn't you. Ancient power. Ooh, did your speed go up? I'm gonna put all my stats up. Maybe. I mean, it's relevant. You're done. I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man. Hyper Potion. Very nice. In other news for me, it's super snowing here in Nagano, so that's exciting. Got a good weekend of hiking coming up. I still got work today, but after that, nice weekend of hiking coming up. And yesterday, I watched myself a little bit of The Matrix Resurrections. Good film. I'll of course have a podcast coming up on Matt and Luke's Sci-Fi Sanctuary. It can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever podcasts are found. Just search MLSFS Pod on Twitter. But yeah, basically, one of the best films I've seen in ages. In terms of an action movie, it's nowhere near the level of the original trilogy, but it's not really trying to be. It's got its own thing it wants to say. Yeah, I think it's if you have any nostalgia for the original trilogy, you've got to see it. And yeah, it feels like a meaningful film that the director is actually saying something with, which you can't always say these days, especially not in, oh wow, a ninja. Ooh, the ninja trio. Okay, okay. It's a tiny boy. I don't believe you're an actual ninja. The ninja, of course, being a semi-legendary group of spies and assassins who worked in the Japanese Sengoku period. Most famously from clans which trained in the Iga and Koga provinces of Japan, just outside Kyoto, which I visited back in my first year in Japan. I went to like a ninja village, a ninja like trap house. I did a little bit of my own wandering in the mountains and bettering myself. It was the first time I encountered one of those big Japanese hornets. They are scary. One day, when my Japanese is a lot better, when I have actual free time, I want to go to one of those mountain training courses, become a real, mountain man, meditate under waterfalls, climb up cliffs. Yeah, the good kind of strong, Oh, I bet you did. Oh, matron. Man, dinosaurs is cool though, right? Oh wow, that harden was actually effective. I barely touched you. I could switch to the old diggery-doo, but it's not necessary. Ridiculous camouflage energy drink for the gamers. The flavour is genuinely called Invisible Sniper. I think it has some Call of Duty code you can get from it, but I ain't never playing Call of Duty, so Activision wasted their money sponsoring this can, which I certainly have no qualms about. I was into dinosaurs when they were still underground. Oh, that one. Oof. We felt that. We are getting aggravated. Yes, we are. Yeah, sit down. Geodude, more like Geo-losed. Are the other two ninjas in this grass? Is that the implication? Monsley! Destroyer of Worlds. Sturdy. I'm not even sturdy, I'm just not strong enough. Wow. I guess this is supposed to be more of a defensive Pokemon. But I'm not really smart enough to use defensive Pokemon. I just like hitting attacks. Oh. League is way stronger. Got a whole different league. Up goes your weasel. A cute little dance. Bye bye. Kids say bye bye a lot here in Japan. The word bye bye is actually in the Japanese original Pokemon theme tune. But they don't realise it's an English word. So first they get freaked out when I say it. They're like, oh, Japanese! Sensei Nihongo! Then, when I tell them it's actually English, they're like, what? Ooh, a Chansey. Chansey would be a fine thing. A fine thing indeed. Now the question is, do I endeavour to catch it? I think I am actually going to heal up, though. There should be a sound type. Wow. Anyway, that should be some good old experience, right? Not bad, not bad. Didn't blow my mind or anything. Ninja! Knew it. If I win, you know you have to commit seppuku, right? People often talk about ninja and samurai as two separate things. Many of the ninja were samurai. Ninja just means, like, you know, stealth operative or, you know, spy. And yeah, if you were trained in the ninja arts in one of the provinces or clans that did that stuff, yeah, you could be samurai, you could be peasant, you could be anyone. Just whoever had to do that job at that time. And then, yeah, samurai was just a class. Officially, they were the warrior class, though. As the many civil wars went on, you know, peasants started being armed, as well as samurai. And then were banned from being armed again at the end. There you go. Some history for you. Whether you're as interested in that as me or not, I don't know. But when literally we've got ninjas in the game, I'm going to be giving you some ninja facts. Cool. Ooh, Cricketune. Love it. Loved it. Might notice the Christmas tree here. As the topper on my Christmas tree this year, I've got Arceus. I thought it was appropriate. Did it say struggling bug? I thought it was called struggle bug. Maybe I just misread it. Let's go with that. But I swear I saw struggling bug. Wow. This guy's tough. I know it says not very effective, but I don't want to waste my last ancient power. Are you having a little joke? A little giggle with me? Is this in jest? Heavens. Heavens to Betsy. Oh yeah, now you're in trouble. Booba's here. Maybe I saw that bar move? Magic Pixel. Burn, baby, burn! Disco Inferno! Burn, baby, burn! Burn that mama down! Face planted. I'll take a little bit of that. Oh, item. There are a lot of Pokemon in this grass. Too many, if you ask me. And my dinosaur is still asleep. It's got a real Muppet face, don't you think? Give it some smelling salts. There you go. That's what you get for being asleep in battle. A horse's ass in your face. Twice. Dolph Ziggler and Sheamus in a kiss me arse match. If anyone remembers that old chestnut. My little pony, my little pony, I'm gonna rip out your heart. I prefer it when they lower my defense. I've got defense to spare. Attack, slightly less so. Super effective, was it? Didn't feel super effective. There we go. There we go. We've beaten 2 ninjas, found 2 items, gained 2 levels, and made about 3 squares of progress along the map. How does one like them apples? Didn't mean to hit protect. Yep, I'll protect myself from this bonsai. Good. Good use of a turn. Good use of all of our limited time on this earth. What did you do today, Luke? Well, I used Protect against a bonsai, so I got to watch that little animation play out. Oh. Good-o. Were you in danger from that bonsai? No. Had you done a status ailment or something, so it was worth using Protect? No, not really. Oh. So I just sort of wasted a turn's worth of your time. Yeah. Oh, well, at least you're only wasting your time. Well, actually, I was streaming the game on Twitch to one live viewer and several viewers on demand later. Oh. Wow. So, wasted everyone's time. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Yep. You know, we've all only got so much before we die. And even beyond that, you know, the universe only has so much before inevitable heat death. So, you know, we should be spending that time as best we can. But there's a good 5-10 seconds of it. Watching a tiny little baby bounce a rock off of a force field. So that was good. That was good for everyone. Here's a ninja. Let's get down to business to defeat this child. When I'm finished with him, there will not be smiles. Oh, it's Ninja Boy Bruce. It's Batman in training. You flinched. You flinched against that 3 HP of damage. I don't think I knew that Fury Swipes could flinch. I haven't seen that. It must be a low percentage. Or is this an ability thing? Can they make you flinch on anything? Wow. Flinchy McFlincherson over here. Omg. Omg. Can't say it can't work 3 in a row. Yeah. Tiddly experience as well. Only 4 levels higher than it. I mean, remember how over-leveled we were last stream, so I guess I don't want to bump up too much more. I just don't like seeing the screen and my levels are that disparate. I just want everyone same level. You know? Is that too much to ask? Yes, apparently. Don't write in. Or do. Engagement is good. After all, we all belong to the algorithm now. Skynet rules us already, and we invited it into our lives. Don't do the thing. Put my drink down too hard so the stream's frozen. I've been having pretty good luck with just deactivating and reactivating today. I was testing for a while before the stream. Yeah, we're good. I am going to invest in a proper capture card though, because this dongle life is ridiculous. You again. Update on my friend at work. He is still resetting to try and get his shiny Poplio. He's played, I think it said 25 hours of this game. He hasn't got past the briefcase at the start yet. And I think I'm only on like 16, right? 8 play sessions of 1 hour each. I played a little bit last week off stream, so maybe I'm at around 20. So yeah, he's played more of this game than me. Just resetting for a shiny starter. I know it's what some people are into, but, like... Wowzers. Chansey! Give me that, give me that, give me that EXP. Ooh, I should try and catch this one, shouldn't I? Can't hurt to have a chance. Gettable, gettable, Chansey, gettable. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Bong. And won't share them with those who have evil in their hearts. Who made Chansey the judge of that? And this guy, I guess. Yeah, the box. Yeah. I see. Great. Hello, Karate Man. I'm not going to send out my Steel and Rock type against you. Oh. You're just here to help me out in case I didn't know which item to use. At least I didn't have to have Defog on my team. A fourth ninja? I was told it was a trio. Guess you weren't invited. Oh, are you Raphael when you're having one of your moody fits? Gone off in a huff. Joel. So, this is my power. Hasta la vista, baby. Oh no! Your accuracy didn't raise enough to get me now. I don't think I've ever seen a scorpion in real life. Maybe like the bug enclosure at the zoo or something. But I don't usually spend a lot of time in there, because... Oh, it's not a poison type, so Dig was redundant. I'm terrified of spiders. So yeah. Just seeing a scorpion on screen or whatever doesn't bother me. I'd imagine if I encountered one IRL, I wouldn't enjoy the experience much. Oh, I miss his big lolloping tongue, you know? That was my Golbat. love that I'm just launching, you know, priceless fossils at it over and over. Especially as Ceratops here was born from a fossil. Could be your brothers and sisters in arms. Still, job's a good one. What have we got? Nose Rock Smash. Stealth Rock's not useful in this kind of context. Strength isn't too exciting. Yeah. I've seen if I've got anything spicier that I could teach my dinosaur. Ancient Power's good, but it's only 5 PP. And Rock Smash is pretty low. Oh. I just skipped a section of grass. And the other one, Protect, right? Which I know is a useful move when used smartly. But I'm not playing very smartly. So I'd rather just have another thing to bash with. Builder. I think I gave him the nickname, at least within video games, of Bill, though. He used to say though a lot, you know, like, oh, them shorts though. Oh, them chips though. So when I added him on my Switch, I called him Bill, though. And it appears when he bought his own Switch, he reused the name. Good times. Bill being one of my friends in the UK, so I haven't actually seen him in like 4 years. First, I just had very little interest in going back to the UK, and then, you know, Verona. Hopefully next year I'll finally get a visit in. We'll see. Ah, damn. I actually thought I'd used a heal, but I hadn't. Good job, brain. Put on the old thinky poos. You liquid. Yeah. Ooh, a turtle. You will build a turtle fence. Have a slice of that. Up and away! This is why you never skip rest day. Most important part of muscle growth is the healing process. Exercise to break down the muscle, rest to repair and expand. Immediately after this stream will be a trip to the gymnasium for your boy. Be a biceps and triceps twofer today, because I skipped my session yesterday so I could go to the movie theatre. If you were wondering about what's going on in my life. I didn't get these bad boys out of a cereal packet. Don't know what that means. You got muscles out of a cereal packet. Is that a phrase? People say that? I didn't get this out of a cereal packet? Well, we do now. I'm starting it. I'm a trend setter. And Pokemon Let's Go, they had the visual effect if you hadn't used Flash yet. It looked kind of like defog, but it looked really cool. You see like silhouettes of everything moving through the fog. So I'm very disappointed that the fog looks pretty lame in this. Especially as you can't even get up here until after the point in the game where you'll definitely have defog. So why even bother making it difficult? Ooh, double battle. Yeah. Oh. It's not even. Oh, here it is. Good, good, good. She just didn't talk. Raichu and Gyarados. I know it has no effect on Gyarados. It's not who I had in mind. Oh, double teaming. Rude. Giga Drain. Smart play. They didn't try and attack my one that was underground. Which, you know, should be the bare minimum. But you never really know, do you? Yeah, I believe they both struck first last time. Alright, that should be Gyarados finished off. Thank you kindly for your donation. Of your life! Thank you for donating your precious armory. This great city. Well, my little buddy here. Wow. Little buddy zoned. Bad times indeed. Wow. The process of touching my computer to unfreeze it froze it again. Idiot. Write in the comments, what did this guy just see? Oh, the shadow passed over his face right after as well. Great. Ah, I need the rock climb to get down there. I think I still needed to cure that paralysis, didn't I? Alright, what you got for me, Chief? What doth life? A moth. Masura, oh Masura. Da, 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 da. I really should cure that paralysis, shouldn't I? Otherwise, using dig, I'm just gonna like get paralyzed under the ground. Waste 2 turns. Oh! Or we're gonna switch to another Pokemon anyway. This will go poorly for you, Luxio. Feeling good about your decision? Feeling smart? That's what I don't like about the whole EXP share thing. I'm not getting to use my highest level Pokemon because they're just leveling up quietly in the background. See, both of those guys up to level 41. What a dumb thing to care about. Sorry. Humans be wild. Oh, another ninja. So far the only cool technique I've seen from any ninja today is hiding in a little hole in the ground. Ninja Boy Davy. This is a tough moth. There've been an awful lot of moth and butterfly Pokemon at this point, right? So, Butterfree. Then we have Beautifly and Dustox. Then Mothin. Did Black and White add a moth? I can't remember. I know we had Vivillon in X and Y. Oh, that cool fire one was Black and White, Volcarona. And then we had Frostmoth in Sword and Shield. So like 8 separate moths. And there's every chance I'm forgetting one. I mean, don't get me wrong, moths and butterflies are cool. And there are a lot of species in the real world, so it makes sense. But still, pretty wild. I hope this item is worth it. Shadow Ball, nice. Hello, Karate Man. I'm prepared for your tricks. He has a pretty buff physique. Dempex. Yeah, but how buff is your physique when you're going to be standing next to a Machoke all day? You're like Statham when he co-stars with The Rock. Like, yeah, sure, you are buff, but you're not Dwayne Johnson buff. You know? You're buff, but you're not Machoke buff. Machoke is all pec. It doesn't have abs. And it still got wrecked by my Rosalia, so what does that tell you? Adam. Wow, indeed. Ooh. This is a bird person, right? I think I'm all out of ancient powers. Yeah. I'm going to take out one bird. What are the charms of bird Pokemon? Is it that they can fly? Oh, we saw its second leg for a second there. Nice. A rare treat. Ah, not even a stat boost. My last ancient power. Crunch. Noctowl, the evolved form of Hoot Hoot. Yeah, I haven't used you yet. Oh. Two can play at that game, Chief. I like that animation. It's kind of creepy. It's like if you got psychically attacked in a horror film, you know? By Sadako. Or the like. I mean, I would be surprised too if I went into battle with 2 owls and I ended up fighting a dinosaur, a psychic bell. Whatever else. I dare say not. I dare say yes. Brian. Ooh, a weasel. Let's poison your other 2 Pokemon. That'll be fun. For me? Ha 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 ha. Give me all your health. Share your energy with me. Hi Girathoric, are you enjoying being poisoned? Oh, I'm astonished. That's right. Still resists psychic, but doesn't resist dark, which is what caught me out a couple of times at the start of this game. I think even though they're called toxic spikes, they only do regular poison, which I guess is a little disappointing. Ooh. I guess that is in preparation for the Backpage podcast coming out soon. And they're doing their Game of the Year episode fairly soon, so I guess they need to cover No More Heroes 3. I've got a copy of it on my shelf over there. I bought the nice fancy pack with 1, 2, and 3. And I played through 1. I'm about to start 2, and then I'll play 3. But I have very little interest in being Mr. Up-to-Date. Yeah. This guy is really cool though, look at him. I like the way it just looked like he was overcome with rage and then just gave me a punch. But now you'll fall foul to my psychic power. Your feeble intellect is no match for such an assault. Sorry, Bri. Time for you to go. Bye-bye. Citrus berries. Chesto berries. Giggity giggity. Wiki berries. These ones definitely look poisonous. Aguave berries. Paralysis, poisoning, sleep. Actually, that does sound kind of handy. There are a couple of those. Frozen, not that useful. Doesn't give up that often. Right, these are those weird restore your HP, but it might cause confusion ones. Make it happy but lower one of its base points. Confusion. Just for puffins. Cover from a burn. Paralysis, I guess, could be useful. Which game was it where it called it like soft loamy foil? Soil. I think that was in Hoenn. I could be wrong. Oh yeah, one more Chester. Oh, this time it hasn't done it. So weird. Just retweeting the old stream. Who knows, maybe someone will get involved. There, all happy. Oh, I'm very happy indeed. Oh, we're in town. Yes, I would like to rest my Pokemon. Hey kid, what's up? I would like to see some ancient Pokemon etchings. I didn't even know they had Etch-a-Sketch in ancient times. I'd punish that spaceman with my Pokemon. Hello, Shrine's cute. What's up, Galactic Nerd? I'm very much going to mess with you, yes. It means I'm taking on one dweeb. Calm down. Ooh. Ooh la la. Stick this in your big curly snout. Wrecked. shuddered because you know I got dig, son. I'm gonna dig under your nice shiny Team Galactic floor. Skadoosh. You're done though. Thing goes skitty pop pop. Boom. Boom boom. Skitty pop pop. The only horse in this town is the one whose ass you were. My vow is fulfilled. It was made in honor of a mythical deity, said to have created Sinnoh. A giant etching of a Pokemon-like creature. Ooh. The flow of time never stops. The past, future, and present. Space is ever-expanding dimensions. Our spirits, too, are of space. Ah, these guys. Ah, surf. Nice. Hot Home. Is that the lady who appeared and then disappeared? Can I finally go battle her? Ooh. Yeah, that's not something a psychopath would say to a child. Just a normal bloke. Just a solid dude, you know? Seems legit. Do they now? There you go, that's what time it is. For me, 6 a.m. There you go. See how long it takes before that starts to feel obnoxious. Just having a big analog clock on the screen. Especially when you've got me in the other corner. Taking up our real estate. Ah, wonder what they got. Real bitter tasting herbs and stuff, right? Thanks, dude. What have you got? Oh, you just got normal items. Weird. That's basically a normal mart with a different lick of paint. I do need some potions there. Could buy 41. I'm not going to do that. 10 should suffice. What's my ball situation? 31 and 12. Probably all good. Dusk ball, quick ball, timer ball. But I'll try to remember that you are here. I'm sick of that stupid clock already. Big house. Ah, I like this. This is nice. I'm researching, were things different in the past? Yes. No one has time to train up Pokemon. Almost courage, wisdom, and power, isn't it? Almost. They mostly come at night. I am studying up on local history, yes indeed. I mean, in every way it's the closest place to the sky. That is what tall mountains are. I guess I'm pretty close to the sky. Nagano's fairly high above sea level. There's this one, it's just a little village train station near Lake Nojiri. But they've got this little wooden platform, and if you stand on it, you're at the same height as Tokyo Skytree. So that's pretty fun. I didn't mean to go in this house, by the way. Because I briefly steered with one hand. I went off course. Never get in a car with me. Wow, this is like Trainer Central. We're going to have many battles. A spear. Your father with his skinny legs. I think Doobs is like cancelled. No, don't. Thank you. I want the Ayababa berries. What have we got? I'll just plan on each of these status ones. Better than nothing. Yes, I would. Very much so. Do, 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 do. That's the one I like. Citrus. Right. I'm going to lay down the ancient powers on this lady's birds. Haha. Funny if she now didn't have a Noctowl. But she does. Bye. Ah. I really don't understand what that move is getting at. Why do they glow? And then sky? Well, you know, fly makes sense. Wing attack, peck, even gust. But I do not understand what is going on with sky attack. Also, my first ever experience with sky attack was when I got Missing No on my copy of Pokemon Blue. So it's already, you know, a weird experience. Seeing this little glitch block and it's all the names are messed up and stuff. And then it's just like, it started glowing and I was like, what? Is it going to explode? Is this like Godzilla at the end of Godzilla vs. Destroyer? But no, it's just going to use Sky Attack. I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong. Oh. Oh, it's going to be divorced dad. Yep, here it is. Does it levitate? Is this going to work? I don't actually know. Well, I won't get a critical hit. But I will at least get a hit. That'll do, pig. That'll do. No confusion. I really hate confused. Have a berry. Payback. This time, it's personal. Bronzor is back. First, he fought for his country. Then... No, it's the other way around. First, he fought for himself. Then, he fought for his country. Now, he fights for his friend. Rambo 3. Dedicated to the Taliban. True story. Almost. It's, technically the soldiers depicted in Rambo 3 did go on to become the Taliban. But I think it just says dedicated to the brave warriors of Afghanistan. It doesn't literally say the Taliban. But nope. We've always been at war with Eurasia. lovely bit of that. Ooh, yeah. Don't mind if I do. Oh, God, that. You won't like very much a bit of ancient power, will you? Oh no, I've been haircut. Have some rocks in your big mouth. Actually, we haven't seen Shinx today, have we? Ba 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 da da dum. Ba da da ba da da ba 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 bum 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 bum. That's a bit Godzilla for you. Oh, I love a Godzilla film. I really do. I want to see him smash the buildings. I want to see him shoot the laser beams. I want to see him fighting the other dinosaurs. Yeah, I like a bit of Godzilla. It does the trick for me. What can I say? I like those Japanese, they make the good dinosaur movies. Oh yeah. I know it's a man in a suit. Doesn't bother me one bit. I think it's an art form. I couldn't do what they do. Dress up like the dinosaur, smash the cities with the big tail. And the roaring. And there's the fire and the pyrotechnics. I love it. I don't know what this character is that I'm doing the voice of. Is it just a New York older gentleman? I think the older gentlemen in New York, they do like the Godzilla. Maybe that's why, Roland Emmerich, he thought, oh, I can make a Godzilla movie and I can set it in New York. They'll enjoy it. Sure, they love the city, but they'll like seeing the dinosaurs smash the city a little bit. Of course, this movie was made in 1998, and it is an extremely pre-9/11 movie. It's you notice the things that you don't notice when you watch Roland Emmerich's 1998 Godzilla movie. Now I gotta say, I don't particularly think of that dinosaur as Godzilla. Very different depiction of the creature. Most of the fan base, we call it Zilla these days. We think of it as a different Godzilla, but as a movie on its own terms, yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy the movie. Now, 2014, Gareth Edwards, he makes a new Godzilla movie. This one is post 9/11. A lot of the imagery it deliberately evokes the now infamous World Trade Center attack. A lot of smoke, a lot of dust, and a big old dinosaur. Oh yes, indeed. Now that's a good movie. Be two other American Godzilla movies since then. Sequels, if you will. They have their ups and their downs. Certainly there's more action, but I think it's slightly less well put together than Mr. Edwards' action. I gotta stop doing this character now, because I'm a little worried that it might be an offensive stereotype. I like, yeah, do a little kick, show him what you want him to do. Krogunk, slap. Like this. That's how you slap, right? Idiot. while after the second Hobbit film, I had Smaug saying, "I am fire, I am death," as my text message alert on my phone. And it went off in a post office. Really freaked out some old lady, so I changed it. You know, imagine, if you will, being a little old lady in the post office and suddenly hearing a growling Benedict Cumberbatch's disembodied voice tell you they are fire and death. Understandable. In amongst those 3 ridiculously long Hobbit movies, you could cut out a really good 90-minute Hobbit movie from them. Especially as you can skip the entire third film, which is just like Peter Jackson LARPing a Warhammer battle. Don't get me wrong, that's the film I would have made when I was 12. And then there's trolls, and then he jumps on the rocks, and then it's under the ice. But yeah, pretty done. Jump. Right, where are we at? Ah. I guess I'll try going through the mountain. I mean, I could just fly down there, right? Since I've made it this far, might as well give it a go. I'm guessing I'm going to need to fly back to Celestic when I want to go up this way. That's my prediction. I probably won't be able to get very far right now, right? It's going to be like a strength puzzle or something. Yeah. Oh, an item though. An escape rope. That bodes well. Yep. Okay. Right, Harham City and the gym it is. Oh yeah, that's not how you fly anymore. Oh, bye-bye, analog clock. Anyone remember what number that was? Yes, I would like to rest my Pokemon. Alright, where's the Gymnasium? There we go. Okay, it's on. Flannery. I think it's a fire type gym, right? Am I remembering that rightly? Oh, Ghost. Nice. Hopefully that means half of our Pokemon are going to be poison type. I can just use ground moves. 3 plus 5 plus 7. 8 plus 7 is 15. Wait, is it if I get it wrong I battle the other trainers? Yeah. Well, I want to get it wrong then. Yeah, I did. Correct. Someone clip this gym so I can send it to my mum. She's a math teacher. Maths. I've been teaching American English for too long. In my head it is just math now. Nasty plot. Was that a JoJo reference? I know it's a common anime way to depict anger or whatever. Oh, it is levitating. Brilliant. Okay. I could use extrasensory. Oh, you've got bite. I'll remember that later. It's gonna hit you with some fire. I like the gym aesthetic though, that's cool. All these stained glass windows and stuff. The math might be lame, but this is dope. Are those weird noises coming from my heater or my neighbours? I can't tell. Oh, it's my heater. Which, I'm not gonna lie, is barely heating my room. Might be the outside bit of the AC is full of snow. What's up, kid? Oh yeah, there is a calculator on my Pokétch. I wonder if anyone had to use that. But then, Donnie, what you got? This one's probably levitating as well, isn't it? Let's just operate on the assumption that they're all going to be levitating. So, I'm a big fan. I'm wearing a Gengar t-shirt IRL, and I think my character is also wearing a Ghastly t-shirt. Wanda. So, fun fact, in Japanese, Ghastly and Haunter are called Ghosts and Ghost. And then Gengar is just called Gengar. Toodles. Donnie Donaldson. Dunzos. $12 plus 28, 40. So that would be this one. Yay! But let's do these first. If only that were true, my friend. If only that were true. I've been to many places. I don't know anything. It's true! Yeah, she even looks like my friend Drew. And he's about to get wrecked like my friend Drew. Oh yeah, you might have just spotted that Karura has a Soothe Bell as its item. It's because I caught it as a Magby. Had to evolve it. Oh, there you go. Punch, punch, punch. Sorry, kid. What did you think was going to happen? Your job is just to stand behind the door of people who are bad at math. I'm not afraid of picnicking anywhere. Okay, Cheyenne. Good, I guess? Ooh, you're not going to like rock-type moves, are you? I always think Drifloon has a silly little hairdo. I kind of like it. Cloudy balloon boy. Ooh. Neither of these two are going to work, are they? So I'm going to have to waste another ancient power on you. You little bumhole mouth. Raise my stats. Raise my stats. Raise my stats. Nope. El nombre. Writing numbers in the desert sands. El nombre. Put a spell on you. Oh, now you raise your stats when there's only one move left in the battle. I'm Gandalf, and I'll put a spell on you because you're mine. The Mines of Moria, that is. Regular features. Yeah, my heater is just 100% given up at this point. But that's fine, because my laptop is giving off loads of heat. Oh, and of course, I had the audacity to touch it. So, good old-fashioned freeze of the old stream. Deactivate. Activate. Three, two, one. To be fair, we did have a really good run there when nothing went wrong, so I can't get too upset. Okay, we're back on the TV. And we're back on the stream. 3, 2, 1, you're back in the room. Oh, don't worry, no one has experienced my toughness before. Three times 13, 39. So I guess that means there's 2 more trainers. Yeah. Hey, little girl. I probably stuck. You definitely haven't. Because I do a Pokemon podcast like a nerd. But I'm all out of PP. The only one who'd be super effective against you is Shinx, but saving him for the leader. You don't want to level it up too much. Well, I'll just fire punch you a bit more. Seems to work, doesn't it? Who knew? Ghosts don't like fire. Boom. And boom goes the dynamite. Oh, I'll have another of the same, please. Oh yeah. Hit the spot. Sorry, little one. Hey, big un, playtime's over. This is just me. It's what I do. I read books about history and I study Pokemon. School kid Chance. This kid is so cool. His name's Chance. He's into history and Pokemon. He's friends with a Haunter. It's probably levitating. I don't even know if they have another ability. But I can have a little pop anyway. Because wouldn't it be fun? Yep, levitate. Unsurprised. Give it the old extra sensory then. Oh no, he's going first. It's a toss of the coin whether I win this one now. Yes. Nice. Nice. Lovely jubbly. Tickety boo. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I like a bit of that. That's exactly what I like, that is. Oh yeah. Yeah. That is what I'm into. That's my thing. The first room's answer was 15. Does that mean there's another 2 trainers I could be battling? I gotta hit the old Pokemon Center before I fight Flannery. Also, no teleporter back to the start. Gotta take all these elevators. It's a big ass Pokemon gym. Doesn't look like this tall or wide from the outside. But I guess they are ghost type. Makes sense they have a TARDIS gym. It's haunted. Urgh. Spooky. I would like to rest my Pokemon, yeah. I think that would be for the best. Rest is for the best. Wow. My tummy just growled really loud. Alright, let's go clobber this gym. I think we need to go right, left, middle, right, as I recall. Or is it right, middle, left, right? Yeah, it is. Right, middle, left, right. I think that means the gym leader is through here. But I should take out these 2 first. What's up, bro? I like the cut of this guy's gym. It's because I want experience points, you idiot. But, yeah. Go off, I guess. Oh no, I was wrong. I don't have Ghastly on my t-shirt. I have Honchcrow. So I went 30 years of my life without watching The Godfather, and I finally got around to watching it when I did the Honchcrow episode of my Pokemon podcast. So I guess that's just how I approach high culture. Make of that what you will. Also, people make a big deal about Godfather Part 2 being I guess one of the greatest sequels or whatever. It's nowhere near as good as the first one, in my opinion. It's the boy. Oh, I was not paying enough attention. I'd rather have Protect than Endure. Yeah. I guess if I had both, and like Toxic or something, Protect, then you Endure, then you Protect again. That's not the kind of gameplay I'm envisioning for myself. Especially not in this single player campaign. I did like all the Don Corleone flashback stuff in Godfather Part 2. But the sort of modern day... I guess even that wasn't technically modern day, was it? It was like set 20 years before it was made. But yeah, that stuff didn't quite do as much for me. Certainly not as much as the first film did. It had less of just a pure, you know, this is what the film's about. Bang. Ooh, the big boy. Big Chiefy Chops. Heisenberg. No, Hindenburg. Hindenburg is the balloon. Heisenberg is the uncertainty principle. Ah, now would be a smart move to use Protect. Oh! I didn't know it goes through Protects. Interesting. Well, one to remember. Okay, good. I thought we were going to have one of those fights. Where he's just minimizing and I'm just missing everything. Weak, dude. Weak sauce. Don't be a dick. You know I'm toying with you, right? You know I could switch to a much more powerful Pokemon at any moment. Dingus. There you go. Couldn't just let me beat you with my dinosaur, could you? Had to be all minimizing and shadowing and what have you. I feel like you squeezed out something else, to be honest. Right. Now is the time. Oh, Fantina, not Flannery. Ah, a French lady. Ah, mademoiselle. Let us have the Pokémon battle. Oh. I didn't go and restore, so can't actually do anything. Still, maybe Kura can get one more kill under its belt before I have to move on to my other Pokemon. Oh, this one. well, then I shall use my special attack. How about that? Yeah. Burned. Oh, we're gonna fly up high. I basically just used that potion because I didn't want to be not using a move, you know? Ah! I like that you actually see it sort of up in the rafters when it did fly. That was fun. I enjoyed that. But now it's time to end this charade. Oh. It's like that, is it? We're throwing around the old hyper potions. Very well, to play at such a game. Excellent. Terminated. Nice, level 40. Good stuff. Low kick. Yeah, maybe I will. See, cross chop, 100 attack. Oh, it's the old heavier they are, harder they fall thing. But yeah, I'll forget. Scary face, I don't think I've ever used it. I'm sure there'll be a point somewhere down the line where I'm fighting a... what do you call it? Waylord or something. Give it the old kick. Trip it up. TripAdvisor. Not the Confucian. I should have known there'd been confusions. I should have used some berries. See if we can get a lucky extra sensory off there. Yeah. Nice. Very nice indeed. Ooh. Oh, what better time to switch to another Pokemon? Oh wow, this one really likes me. I suspect we might win this gym battle, guys. Never give up. Never surrender. Oh, that was a foolish move. By a foolish, foolish little boy. I was thinking we basically had this in the bag, so I could afford to finish her off and switch to another Pokemon just for the XP. To be honest, Luxray can tank another move, so it's not going to do me any harm. and I get second Intimidate. Nice. Alright, final bite. Ain't nothing but a thing. There we go. Another gem under the belt. Good session, I'd say. Leveled up the team. Did Celestic. Beat a gym. Nice. I had to give those boys a polish. The relic badge. Is it going to be Shadow Sneak? Yeah. Oh, Shadow Claw. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. If you're on the... Nope, not that one. That's meant to be my face. Never mind. Whatever. Thanks for watching the old Streamy Poos. Next time... we're streaming tomorrow, Saturday night, UK time, 8 PM. Let's see if we can get one more gym. Certainly we can surf to the old island. Get a Lucario egg, I think. But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe if you're on the YouTube. Make sure you follow if you're on the Twitch. If you haven't listened to the podcast, you can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Just search Luke Loves Pokemon. Or it's on Twitter at Luke Loves PKMN. Make sure you give a follow. Tell your Pokemon loving friends. Otherwise, thanks for coming. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.